What's going on there, people? It's Tariq the Great back, and I want to start talking about Trayvon Martin and this whole Trayvon and George Zimmerman case. What's been going on? See, I've been watching the news, watching the trial, reading about it on the internet, seeing the different blogs out there, seeing what people are saying, getting the different views from different races, and it's really not about the blacks versus the whites versus the blacks. It's about a case of one man, Mr. George Zimmerman, deciding to follow another man or a teenager. He wasn't even a grown man, he was a teenager, Trayvon Martin. Because he looked suspicious and there was a string of random robberies within the neighborhood. Now neighbors and witnesses have said that they caught these robbers who was robbing in these neighborhoods. Mr. Zimmerman still feels like he needs to follow. He wanted to follow Mr. Martin, Trayvon, this teenage young boy who was wearing a hoodie because it was raining outside in Florida at the time. I mean, that's fine. It's okay to travel and decide to follow somebody. But when you follow somebody, you're supposed to keep your distance. That's my personal opinion. When you're following, you keep your distance away from that person. But Mr. Zimmerman was armed, which means he felt in his mind that he had power, that he was in control of the situation. He wanted to be the hero. So he followed Trayvon and he decided to make contact with Trayvon. Now the court says that Trayvon was in the bushes and he popped out. There's no physical evidence that Trayvon was in the bushes and popped out and grabbed George Zimmerman. No physical evidence. No eyewitnesses that were around. The only person there was Trayvon Martin and George Zimmerman. George Zimmerman being the man with the pistol on his person. Trayvon, Skittles, and iced tea. The media making Trayvon look like he's a thug and he's this big bad, thuggish person, some gangster. They throwing up all these gangster pictures and all these pictures of Trayvon doing drugs and Trayvon sticking up the middle finger. So we don't see that in everyday society. Granted, yes, it's wrong, depending on who you talk to. Some people, they view that as that's something cool to do. It's a fad. It's something that's in at the moment. Because Amanda Bynes went to court with a blonde and aqua blue hair. No one finds that erratic. No one points that out. She's not in the wrong. A lot of people have their different opinions on this, but me personally, given what's been stated in the actual facts that George Zimmerman had a weapon on him, decided to get out his vehicle, follow Trayvon Martin, make contact with Trayvon Martin, and let's say Trayvon was no shit beating up on George Zimmerman because he felt threatened that some man was following him. You really mean to tell me that Trayvon saw your weapon if it was concealed in a holster, as you state, and Trayvon Martin reached for it, which is in a holster, concealed, and as a professional, when you have your weapon and you're used to your weapon, you put your holster on the side of your shooting arm, your shooting hand. So you mean to tell me that Trayvon reached, and as you would reach to grab your weapon, Let's say Trayvon did see it. He had all right to go ahead and grab for it if a man felt like, if he felt like he was being threatened. Now, I'm a Marine, and I believe in when we don't give any warning shots. You don't shoot to warn somebody. If you're gonna defend yourself, you shoot to kill. And George Zimmerman shot Trayvon Martin dead. But if you really felt like your life was that much danger, you wouldn't just shoot him in the knee, the leg. But that's not for me to say. Like I stated my opinion already on self-defense. I would shoot to kill. And so George Zimmerman did that. Now, Trayvon Martin, say he was a thug. Does that really mean that he deserved to die? Because he carried a thuggish persona? It's all a circus act. And what I feel is I feel that a lot of African Americans within the society are rallying and partitioning, they're rioting, they're wearing the hoodies, walking around the Skittles, the iced tea, blacking out their photos on Instagram. It's it's a great movement. But why do we start now? Because another race was involved? What about the young men and women who die in Chicago daily? Now, a young girl who sang at Obama's re-election and was gunned down blocks away from Obama's his place of living, his house. Why we didn't riot then? Why we didn't shout for justice then? Where's the movement when young black boys kill other young black boys? I find that very hard, that we do all this moving and uproar because another race was involved. It shouldn't have to take that. It shouldn't. It really shouldn't have to take that. And I don't see other races actually getting upset either when black on black crimes happen daily, especially in high numbers like in Chicago, within New York, Los Angeles, Atlanta. I don't see the uproars. They don't get upset. Some people say it's racism. Some people say, oh, it didn't happen in my race, so it doesn't matter. Come on, people, wake up. Let's wake up. See the real issue, what's going on in life. What's really happening now. If you really want justice for Trayvon, because he's gone, all right? He's dead, he's gone. Putting George Zimmerman in prison, some people call that justice. But at the end of the day, we're still going to have young black boys and women. Like I said, I'll pay emphasis on black African Americans. You're still going to have African Americans killing African Americans, causing genocide on our own race, committing these homicides by thugs on a daily basis. So if you really want to see justice, let's riot for black on black crime. Let's rally for black on black crime. Let's stop black on black crime. How about this, young African Americans? How about we, and this time I'm talking about we as in African American men, Stop being, in the streets they say, stop being a pussy. In an educated environment, let's stop being scared. Let's stop being scared of what others think of us. How about we get together as a group and decide that we're going to show that we mean business by taking care of ourselves. Let's rally and riot for every black on black crime that happens. How about we get together as black men and stop this disease, this cancerous disease that's going on within our communities? You really want to see change? Clean up your own house. That's how I see justice. That's how I see change. That's how I see something being done. It starts within us. Charity begins at home. So clean up your own house. Educate these young brothers that having that persona as a thug could get you killed. Use Trayvon Martin as an example. Just because you are innocent, the persona you have is what people are going to think about you. When you're dead and going from this world, what are people going to say about you? How about we tell our young brothers and sisters that? You disrespect yourself, you put yourself out there as one thing. When you're dead and going off this earth, how would people look at you? Like I said, man, I'm Tariq the Great. I just had to give my little 12-minute piece on how I feel about George Zimmerman and Trayvon Martin. Justice for Trayvon. Hey, there's only one way out of this world. There's only one way out. We gotta clean up our own house. Right. You see what I represent? We make a difference. Bartenders, mind up.